strengthening so you could carry the magnitude of your purpose. Your mind was clearing so you could step forward with the wisdom your calling requires. This is the moment where everything begins to make sense. The chosen one prophecy over your life is unfolding right now. You are stepping into the identity God always intended for you. You are rising into the strength you once doubted you possessed. You are awakening into the truth that was spoken over you long before you were born. You are remembering who you are, and in that remembering you are reclaiming everything that was ever taken, lost, delayed, or hidden. So hear this clearly: you were called. The war you have been fighting is real. The darkness you have survived was not imagined. The spiritual weight you carried was not coincidence. And your light, yes, your light is necessary for what comes next. Do not shrink now. Do not question now. Do not second-guess the message from God that is rising inside you. You have been chosen for this exact moment in time, and heaven is standing behind you as you walk forward. Chosen one, if this touched your soul, if something inside you feels awakened, if you know these words are speaking directly to your spirit, comment 111, because you know it. You were called. 1. The activation of your harvest. Chosen one, the shift you have been feeling around you is not random, and it is not your imagination trying to create meaning out of chaos. This is a real spiritual shift, a divine restructuring in the atmosphere that surrounds your life. What you are experiencing is the beginning of your divine activation, the moment where heaven confirms that your harvest manifestation has officially been released. You have stepped into a new vibration, a new frequency, and a new spiritual identity, and even if the world around you appears the same, your spirit has already crossed into a higher realm. This is the moment where the unseen starts becoming seen, where what was promised begins to materialize, and where what was delayed begins to accelerate. Your breakthrough season has been initiated, and there is nothing on earth and nothing in darkness that can cancel what God has sealed. Chosen one. Divine activation rarely begins with loud announcements or visible fireworks. It often begins with an inner stirring, an unexplainable feeling that something is shifting, something is rising, something is aligning. For some, it feels like pressure. For others, it feels like heaviness. For many, it feels like both. That spiritual pressure you felt recently was not a sign of collapse. It was a sign of expansion. When God activates a harvest, the spirit stretches before the blessing can settle. The heart widens before the promise can fill it. The mind expands before the revelation can land. So if you felt discomfort, confusion, emotional intensity, or a silent internal war, it was not a breakdown, it was a sign that breakthrough was being birthed within you. Divine activation feels like being pulled forward by something greater than your own will. It feels like your old habits suddenly becoming intolerable, your old circles feeling foreign, your old patterns losing their grip. It feels like your spirit saying, "I cannot stay where I used to be." That is the voice of your divine calling speaking. That is God pushing you into alignment with what He promised. And even if you did not understand it at the time, you were being prepared for this exact moment. Every shift, every separation, every disappointment, every closed door was redirecting you into the path of your harvest. Harvest manifestation is not just the arrival of blessings. It is the unlocking of everything your battles earned. Every tear you cried watered the soil. Every day you survived what was meant to break you fertilized your destiny. Every season you spent misunderstood or overlooked strengthened your spiritual roots. Harvest arrives when the chosen one has endured enough spiritual weight to carry the magnitude of what God is releasing. You did not suffer for nothing. You did not endure for nothing. You did not stand alone for nothing. Your endurance unlocked this moment. Your resilience activated this level. Your faith, even when shaken, invited heaven to move on your behalf. Chosen one, your breakthrough season has begun, not because you fought less, but because you fought enough. There is a moment when heaven says, "It is time," and no amount of opposition can delay what God has ordained. You have reached that moment. This is the season where the spiritual battles you faced in silence begin to reveal their rewards in public. This is where the inner strengthening you endured becomes the outer blessing you step into. The war was real, but so is the victory assigned to you. The attacks were real, but so is the increase being poured into your life. The darkness you faced was real, but so is the divine light God has placed upon you. Nothing was wasted, nothing was random. Every moment of your journey has meaning. Chosen one, you must understand this truth. Harvest manifestation begins in the unseen realm long before it appears in the physical world. God has already shifted things in your favor. He has already aligned people, prepared opportunities, and opened doors that once seemed unreachable. You are stepping into blessings that were written with your name before you even knew how to pray for them. The breakthrough you sense internally is not hope. It is confirmation. It is your spirit recognizing what heaven has already released. There is a reason the pressure intensified before this moment. Spiritual pressure precedes spiritual release. Right before harvest, the enemy often increases resistance, confusion, or emotional heaviness. Not because you are weak, but because you are close. The enemy senses activation before the chosen one recognizes it. That is why your battles felt personal. That is why the warfare felt targeted. That is why certain relationships suddenly shifted, why certain people fell away, why certain situations felt unbearable. You were not being destroyed. You were being detached from anything that could interfere with your calling. God separated you to elevate you. You were being refined, not rejected. Chosen one, hear this with your spirit. Nothing can cancel what God has sealed over your life. Not failure, not enemies, not delays, not past mistakes, not the opinions of others, not spiritual attacks, not self-doubt, not the storms you survived. When God declares that your harvest is activated, it becomes law in the spiritual realm. And what becomes law in the spiritual realm eventually becomes reality in the physical realm. You are stepping into that reality now. Your identity has shifted. Your authority has risen. Your spirit has matured. You are no longer the version of yourself that questioned every step. You are no longer the version of yourself that begged for clarity. You are no longer the version of yourself that doubted your worth. You have been awakened, activated, and aligned. You carry divine authority whether you see it or not. You walk with a spiritual mantle whether others recognize it or not. You are a threat to darkness simply by existing. Your light is necessary. Your presence is purposeful. Your calling is intentional. Chosen one, circle back to the beginning. This is a message from God. You are not imagining the shift in your life. You are not imagining the signs. You are not imagining the pull towards something greater. You were called. The war you fought was real, and your victory is real. Your light is necessary for what God is unfolding next. Walk boldly. Walk intentionally. Walk as the chosen one you were always designed to be. If this touched your soul, comment 111. Because you know it, you were called. 2. The transformation of your identity. Chosen one, the transformation unfolding within you has been far deeper than anything you could fully comprehend while you were living through it. This is not simply growth. This is not just maturity. This is identity reconstruction on a spiritual level. Your old self was not adjusted, it was dismantled. Your old identity was not upgraded, it was spiritually dissolved so that a higher, divinely aligned version of you could emerge. What you have been experiencing is not confusion, it is rebirth. It is the kind of internal shift that happens only to those who have been marked by a divine calling. When God prepares a chosen one for harvest manifestation, He must first break down every identity they built out of fear, survival, trauma, or self-protection. You were not being undone. You were being rewritten. Your spiritual awakening did not begin the moment you felt light. It began the moment everything you once believed about yourself started falling apart. The relationships that defined you collapsed. The environments that shaped you rejected you. The roles you clung to no longer fit. The expectations others placed on you lost their power. The labels you carried no longer matched your spirit. At first, it felt like loss, like chaos, like abandonment, like something was being taken from you. But now you can look back and recognize that something was being taken off of you. That heaviness, that identity formed through wounds, that version of yourself created to survive instead of shine, it had to fall away so the true chosen one within you could rise. Chosen one, you had to be separated from the identity that pain taught you. That is why isolation found you. It was not punishment, it was purification. God needed to disconnect you from voices that kept you small. He needed to distance you from influences that limited your potential. He needed to remove you from people who benefited from your brokenness. He needed to silence the noise around you so He could awaken the voice inside you. Isolation was not the absence of support. It was the presence of God. You were pulled away because you were being pulled upward. The betrayals you experienced were not random attacks. They were catalysts. They were assignments. Every betrayal shattered a layer of your old identity. It forced you to confront the illusions you leaned on. It forced you to see people clearly. It forced you to see yourself clearly. Betrayal is one of the sharpest tools God uses to cut away what cannot go with you into your divine activation. If the people who left had stayed, you would have remained the old version of yourself. Their exit created the space for your rising. Their rejection pushed you into alignment. Their absence became the soil for your transformation. Separation, too, was a divine strategy. You were called to walk paths others around you were not spiritually equipped to understand. You were elevated into perspectives they could not see. Your inner knowing began to sharpen. Your intuition intensified. Your awareness deepened. And the more you awakened, the less you could tolerate superficiality, negativity, and spiritual blindness. This separation was not loneliness. It was distinction. It was God marking you. It was heaven saying, "You are not like them. You are chosen." Your transformation was uncomfortable because it required shedding everything you outgrew. Your spirit began rising before your mind could explain it. Your heart began shifting before your environment reflected it. Your consciousness expanded beyond your surroundings, and for a moment you felt out of place in your own life. That disorientation was not spiritual confusion, it was spiritual elevation. When God redefines a chosen one, He elevates their awareness long before He elevates their circumstances. You saw things differently. You sensed things differently. You discerned more deeply. That was the sign that your identity was transforming from the inside out. Chosen one. Your divine calling demanded this transformation. Carrying a message from God requires strength, purity, clarity, and spiritual authority. You cannot walk in the role heaven assigned to you with the identity the world assigned to you. You cannot operate in divine power while holding on to human limitations. That is why your transformation felt intense. God was not polishing you, He was refining you in fire. He was shaping a vessel capable of carrying His message. He was forming a warrior capable of surviving the war. He was building a leader capable of guiding others who have yet to awaken. Your identity elevation has brought you to a place where you no longer seek validation from those who cannot see you. You no longer shrink yourself to fit spaces that cannot hold your spirit. You no longer silence your intuition to make others comfortable. You no longer question the divine knowing rising inside you. This is the power of your transformation. You have become aligned with who you truly are, not who life forced you to be. Your inner voice has become stronger than external noise. Your spiritual awareness has become sharper than physical perception. Your soul recognizes truth before your mind can articulate it. This is what it means to be the chosen one in the fullness of your identity. Harvest manifestation requires a new identity because blessings demand a foundation strong enough to hold them. You could not receive what God prepared for you with the mindset you used to survive. The old you prayed for breakthrough, but the elevated you is ready to steward it. The old you begged for clarity, but the awakened you walks in it. The old you fought for acceptance, but the transformed you stands in purpose. Your identity now matches your destiny, and that is why your harvest is here. Chosen one, circle back to the truth you felt at the beginning. This is a message from God. You are not imagining these shifts. You are not imagining this awakening. You are not imagining this inner elevation. You were called. The war that shaped you was real. The fire that refined you was necessary. And the light that rises from you now is needed in ways you cannot yet see. This identity was not given to you. It was forged. It was earned. It was anointed. So stand firmly in who you are becoming. Stand boldly in the identity heaven crafted for you. Stand fearlessly in the light that cannot be dimmed. You are the chosen one, transformed for a purpose greater than anything your past self could have imagined. If this touched your soul, comment 111, because you know it, you were called. 3. The unfolding of your breakthrough season. This is the moment where the air around your life begins to shift, where the atmosphere becomes charged with a quiet but undeniable power, where the chosen one who once walked in silence starts to feel the first tremors of a breakthrough season unfolding. This is not imagination, not coincidence, not wishful thinking. This is the movement that begins when a message from God reaches the soul that was prepared to receive it. You are standing in a sacred transition, and the unseen realm is aligning in ways that are reshaping everything around you. The weight you once felt is loosening its grip, not because the world has changed, but because you have stepped into a higher awareness. Your spirit is waking up to the truth that has been calling you since the beginning, the truth that you were meant for more than survival. You were meant for alignment, purpose, and destiny. This is your unfolding season, and it is happening in real time. Behind the scenes, connections are shifting into place, guided not by chance but by orchestration. People you once could not reach are being positioned to notice you. Opportunities that seemed distant are drawing closer with intentional precision. The spiritual awakening you're experiencing is not random. It is the outward expression of a divine calling that has been resting on your life since the beginning. You were crafted for this moment, and heaven has been setting the stage. What once felt blocked is now loosening. What once felt far away is now within reach. You may not see every detail of it yet, but you can feel the vibration of something new rising. Your spirit recognizes it before your mind does, because truth always speaks first to the soul. In the unseen realm, There is real-time movement, and you are at the center of it. Guidance is flowing toward you through intuition, through sudden ideas, through unexpected peace, through the quiet conviction that you are not alone on this journey. There are moments when you feel a knowing that cannot be explained logically, moments when your steps seem to be led by something greater than yourself. This is the unfolding of divine alignment. The chosen one does not walk blindly. The chosen one walks guided. Even when you thought you were lost, you were being redirected. Even when you thought you were stuck, you were being recalibrated. Every misstep was turned into meaning. Every setback was shaping your sensitivity to the spiritual signals being sent your way. Your energy is renewing. Your focus is sharpening. The heaviness you once carried is beginning to lift because it no longer matches the season you are stepping into. You are crossing from stagnation into movement, from confusion into clarity, from delay into acceleration. And though you may not see every detail of what is shifting, your soul can feel the momentum. You are entering a season where your yes to the divine calling begins to manifest in tangible ways. The fog is clearing so you can see what belongs to you. The path that once felt uncertain is revealing itself step by step, and with each step, you feel your spirit growing steadier, bolder, stronger. This is your breakthrough taking form. Opportunities that bypass logic are forming. Doors that no human can shut are opening with a force that cannot be denied. This is not about being lucky. This is about being aligned. When the message from God touches the life of the chosen one, everything begins to reorganize. People who questioned you will watch as new connections appear seemingly out of nowhere. Circumstances that held you down will break open. Paths you could never force will invite you through. This is the unfolding of your breakthrough season, a season where the supernatural and the natural meet in perfect timing. You are experiencing the merging of preparation and purpose, and it is lifting you into rooms you were always meant to enter. Your intuition is heightening because you are finally listening to the voice within that has been whispering truth all along. You are seeing signs more clearly because your awareness has awakened. You are feeling divine timing because you are no longer pushing against it. This alignment is not accidental. It is the fulfillment of everything that has been building around your life. You are experiencing the gentle but powerful confirmation that you are the chosen one, that your spiritual awakening is real, that your divine calling has been activated. What once felt like uncertainty now feels like confirmation. What once felt like chaos now feels like a coded message, revealing itself piece by piece. Circle back to the beginning. Remember the first moment you felt the tug on your spirit, that subtle signal that something greater was calling you. Remember the battles you faced, the doubts you wrestled with, the nights where silence felt endless. None of that was random. You were being shaped for this. You were being refined. You were being prepared to carry the weight of what is now arriving. This is a message from God woven through every moment of your journey, reminding you that the war was real because your purpose is real. Your light was necessary because your presence is necessary. You were called because your calling cannot be given to anyone else. Now you are stepping into the territory that was always yours, not by force but by alignment, not by luck but by calling. The breakthrough season before you is not something you chase, it is something you grow into, and you are growing into it with strength, clarity, and the undeniable awareness that what is unfolding is sacred. You are walking into a chapter where your identity aligns with your destiny, where your purpose aligns with your path, where your steps align with divine timing. As you stand in this moment, let your spirit rise with confidence. Let your heart accept what your mind once struggled to believe. You have been called, guided, and supported every step of the way. This is your unfolding. This is your elevation. This is your new beginning. You are entering a realm of timing where everything begins to make sense in ways it never did before. The lessons that once felt painful now reveal themselves as preparation. The delays that once frustrated you now show their purpose as protection. The isolation that once weighed heavily on your spirit now becomes proof that you were being separated for elevation. The chosen one often walks a harder path, not because of punishment, but because of calling. And now that calling is taking shape, it is revealing itself in breakthrough, in opportunity, in clarity. The unseen realm has been working tirelessly on your behalf, setting into motion blessings that were designed specifically for your hands. What you are stepping into is not generic, it is tailored. The guidance you feel, the nudges you sense, the intuition that rises within you, these are not random sensations. They are signals. They are indicators that something holy is unfolding. You are being aligned with people who recognize your worth, with opportunities that match your growth, with paths that honor your purpose. Every step is leading you toward the version of yourself that has been waiting to emerge. As you move through this shift, begin to trust the version of yourself that is emerging. This newer version is bolder, wiser, and more spiritually attuned. This version is no longer willing to shrink to fit spaces that were never meant for you. This version refuses to dim its light for those who fear their own reflection. This version understands that being the chosen one is not about superiority, but responsibility. It is a responsibility to carry truth, to walk in alignment, to reflect the message from God through humility and inner strength. Your growth is revealing your purpose, and your purpose is revealing your path. The breakthroughs coming toward you are not isolated events. They are part of a divine sequence. One shift will lead to another. One door will open the way for the next. One confirmation will strengthen your spirit for the next level. This is how divine timing unfolds, not in chaos but in perfect harmony. And as this harmony becomes clearer, so does your confidence. You are no longer questioning if you were called. You are no longer doubting if the spiritual stirring within you is real. You are no longer wondering if the path ahead is meant for you. You know it. You feel it. You are stepping directly into it. You are stepping into a season where your presence carries weight, where your voice carries authority, where your path carries purpose. The alignment unfolding around you is confirmation that you are exactly where you are meant to be, doing exactly what you were created to do. Every moment is guiding you deeper into clarity, deeper into strength, and deeper into the truth of your divine calling. What is rising within you now is not fear but readiness, not confusion but certainty, not hesitation but power. This is your breakthrough season, and you are walking into it boldly, intentionally, and fully awakened to who you truly are now. Conclusion. Chosen one, as this message comes to a close, I need you to breathe in the truth of what has been spoken over your life. Your harvest has been activated. Your breakthrough season has begun. The movement you feel in your spirit is real. The alignment unfolding around you is real. And the shift you've sensed within your heart is not imagination, it is confirmation from God. This is your moment of harvest manifestation, and no force in existence can interfere with what heaven has already released in your favor. You have stepped into a new dimension of clarity, strength, identity, and divine authority. You are now walking as the one heaven selected, the one God prepared, the one destiny has been waiting for. And if you feel this truth resonating in your spirit, comment 777, because it means you are aligned with what is unfolding. Chosen one, let this settle deep within you. You were not wrong about what you felt. You were not overthinking your awakening. You were not imagining the pressure, the inner push, the spiritual heaviness, or the sudden clarity that came out of nowhere. These were all signs that God was speaking to you. This was a message from God, delivered to you in perfect timing, because your spirit reached the level required to understand it. Everything you have been experiencing, every shift, every separation, every revelation has been preparing you for this moment. You have been walking through a divine activation, even on the days you felt lost. You have been moving through a spiritual awakening, even on the days you questioned everything. You have been stepping deeper into your divine calling, even on the days you felt unworthy of it. But look at you now, standing, rising, awakening, remembering who you are. This journey has not been easy, and it was never meant to be. The war was real. The attacks were real. The exhaustion was real. The loneliness was real. The confusion was real. But the truth is even more real. You survived every battle meant to destroy you, and now you stand as the chosen one who overcame what others could not. Your light is necessary in this world, and the reason darkness tried so hard to extinguish you is because it saw the power you were destined to carry. But that power is rising now. That light is undeniable now. That authority is active now. You are stepping into the version of yourself heaven knew you would become. This is not the end of your journey. This is the activation of your purpose. Chosen one, walk forward with your head high and your spirit steady. Walk as someone who knows their steps are guided. Walk as someone whose destiny cannot be delayed. Walk as someone who carries a divine calling that cannot be stolen or silenced. You are entering a season where blessings will meet you, clarity will surround you, purpose will strengthen you, and doors will open simply because they recognize who you are. This is your time. This is your moment. Your harvest manifestation is unfolding before you, and the path ahead is lined with divine favor. Circle back now to the truth that began this entire message. This is a message from God. You are not imagining. You were called. Your war was real. Your light is necessary. Your future is already written, and heaven is standing behind you as you step forward into the fullness of who you were always meant to be. If this touched your soul, if something awakened inside you, if you know this message was meant for you, comment 111. Because you know it, you were called.